This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster, my podcast.
And these are Gem Dragons.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hollow Dragons.
New Lisa Frank series of folders.
We covered dolphins last week, Gary.
Yeah, exactly. Well, together they form the Lisa Frank presidential ticket.
Yep.
Gem Dragon 2016. Better than these candidates.
I know. Whoa. Incisive. Incisive.
Yeah.
So these are the neutral boys. They do not like to take a side. Yeah.
All of these each have at least something like undeniably awesome about them, unlike the evil dragons.
Right.
Like there's one awesome thing. For example, the Amethyst Dragon, his breath weapon is a lozenge, Cole.
So he just coughs up a Ludens.
Yeah, he gets to choke on a Ricola once a day. Get it high out of him.
And he's made like he lobs a menthol grenade is what he does.
Yeah. It's the halls of freshness. It's like the halls of relief or whatever.
the halls of icy winds.
What was the? I keep wanting to say the halls of justice. What is that commercial for Halls? Like where it actually had like, do you remember that? Like someone would pop a Halls in their mouth and then it would show them like running through a misty crystal cave or something made out of Halls.
Are you thinking of a York peppermint patty where it would take them to like a tropic? It would take them to the end of The Shining.
I remember that. Like the way now that's come out of my mouth, it feels like I'm describing a dream I had about the candy Halls with the cough drop.
Yeah, the candy.
My cough drop dreams.
Did somebody in your life try and convince you that cough drops were candy, Gary?
They're more or less candy.
Okay.
Like they kind of feel good, but they're not medicine.
No.
They're like gum. Like gum isn't candy, but
right.
But
it's sold adjacent to candy. It's packaged like candy. It's marketed like candy.
Adjacent.
Yeah. But they spit out this little grenade, and their whole thing is that they're like they're like Ermac from Mortal Kombat. They're like a telekinetic.
Yes. Yeah. These are your Calamites.
Yes.
Kind of thing. So these guys are pretty cool. I like this illustration.
Yep.
He's real angular. They did a good job of making these guys look different.
Right.
As well.
Was one thing that I don't like when the writers of this like in this section needed like something to fall back on. They just said, okay, well, what does that color make me think of? Purple. I guess they're regal or something. I don't know. They're kingly.
Yeah.
But this is the most psionic of them. Now we get to the Crystal Dragon. This guy a lot. Yeah, this guy's my favorite. This guy's my jam.
He's not my favorite, but I like him a lot. He's very good.
Yeah,
he's the friendliest.
Yep.
He's curious.
Yep, and he's he is so shiny that he's almost unbearable to look at.
Yep, but he always wants to talk to you.
I know, right?
Like all the time.
Yep. His attack is a cone of glowing shards, which is pretty cool.
I'm into that.
Yeah,
I'm into that. His whole thing. So he's if you don't steal from him, he'll chat with you.
Right.
That's his deal. But he's fun loving. He loves stargazing. He's been known. Check this out. Crystal dragons have been known to build snow forts, create beautiful snow sculptures, and throw balls of snow at various targets.
Yep.
What the fuck? What do we do to deserve this?
No, I want to go on like a vacation. Like I want to go on a ski. I want to go on a ski vacation at the Crystal Dragon Resort. It'd be like one of those Smirnoff Ice hotels.
I want him to like have an 80s sex comedy called like Snowballs, where it's like him at this ski chalet trying to get bone deep.
Yeah.
Like all five of these, the Crystal Dragons make a really good like 5 kids sex comedy like group. You got like Noble, like the leader, Amethyst Dragon. You got this guy, the trickster, and we'll go through them. But
yep,
it really kind of makes a nice breakfast club.
Yeah, this guy's he's not exactly the Judd Nelson.
No,
not Judd Nelson.
He's more,
is that who I'm thinking of? Which one is Judd Nelson from Taxi?
I don't think Judd Nelson is a name. I think you're thinking of Craig T. Nelson and Judd
Apatow.
Not Judd Apatow. Yeah, I know who you're talking. Maybe it is Judd Nelson. You're talking about the rebel from.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Judd Hirsch.
Oh, okay. There we go. You're thinking about Judd Judy.
Yeah,
Judd Judy, the bad one.
Yeah. So Crystal Dragon might be the what's his intelligence here? Exceptional. So yeah, he's like the Anthony Michael Hall a little bit.
Sure, it's a little bit more prankster. He's a little bit. You know what? He's a little bit of a rebel, a little bit of a princess, a little bit of a dork, a little bit of a jock. Emerald Dragon is our next guy. Who's the nerd? This is more of the Anthony Michael Hall. This is the nerd.
This is the nerd.
Yeah.
But he is especially curious about local history and customs.
History. Come on. He goes to those little one-room museums that every town has that like are never open. And have never been open.
Wait, so you're telling me that you patented a new kind of lathe that was that quickly became outdated? Please tell me there's a pamphlet. I'm sorry, my polymorph self is about to wear off. Do you have a dragonarium that I can step into while I wait for my uses to recharge?
You have extra large size print pamphlets. Oh man,
man.
So these guys are loners. They're smart. They breathe a high-pitched keening wail.
Yep.
Which like I can do that.
That's a pretty nerdy thing too, like screaming like, "Hey, yeah,
not in the face."
And then make their own friends by animating rock.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then we got the jock over here, Sapphire Dragon.
Mr. Sapphire Dragon. My highlighting didn't work on this page, so you're gonna have to carry me through this one, Gary.
He's the military guy. Like he's interested in history as well, but like military history, fights, martial things. Like the entirety of his personality is like being into war, but intellectually.
Oh yeah.
He's a war gamer. He's a self-insert dragon.
Yeah, he's like a Dan Carlin kind of type, right? Like he can tell you a bunch of stuff about it, but like it's just maybe a little bit too interested.
Oh well, Dan Carlin is definitely has private wars.
Of
like
course.
if you don't think that guy holds private wars in his backyard.
Now I gotta tell you, if you think about the scale of the destruction that happened here.
In all of his private wars, he's just a giant who comes through and wins all of his favorite wars throughout history. No, Carlin wins it for the Persians.
We've had like 7 different exit lines in this so far.
Well, that's the hard thing about being this many monsters, because we still got another guy.
I know.
After this,
right?
So this guy, his is also a high pitched keening.
Right.
It's inaudible, but he also breathes sound.
Yes, and being deaf does not protect you from that, because it is more of a metabolic unsounding.
I don't know what that means. Like it vibrates your intestines.
Yeah. It turns your insides to jelly. From the sound. He's an oromancer.
Yeah.
And then we have the Topaz Dragon.
Yeah, this guy
I hate this guy. This is like he's like a tag-along kid who like he doesn't realize nobody wants him to be around.
Yeah, he's in like Freaks and Geeks. He's like the bully kid who ends up giving Martin Starr the peanut. Like he's kind of like still around, but is just a real jerk. Yeah. He just like dislikes everything. He doesn't like he really hates. A lot of these dragons have arch enemies because they realize partway through that there are only so many biomes they can stick dragons in.
Right.
So it's like we can't just have one desert dragon.
No,
it has to be 3. And he breathes out dehydration. What the fuck does that mean?
That's more of an ingestion though, right?
You would think so.
Yeah, like just I'm getting you're dry now. I think that what they were setting up is like he would go to an orchard and make all the alvin into raisins. Yeah.
Or like it's just if a group of adventurers comes into his lair, he better hope that they don't have a little league coach with him with a bottle of water. If you got a Powerade, you got this guy's fucking number.
Yeah, or if they hit the coach, they better hope that the team didn't win so they don't pour the Gatorade over him.
Gatorade over him. It's just powder. What's happening?
Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.